I'm excited about this little art project that I'm doing. I don't know exactly what it's going to be about, and I might actually put this little snippet in the beginning of everything, because I'm in the middle of the art project and I'm just collecting all the things, and I don't know how it's going to be composed or put together, but I'm going to put it together and I'm going to have fun with it. So yeah, love you guys. Bye. Now I'm going to give the blood to Mother Earth. Thank you, Mother Earth, for all that you do, all that you've done. You know, thank you for nurturing us. Thank you for being here. Just thank you. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, Father, Son, for giving me this space to see that all is one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here again. This is the first commentary, I guess, of my experience, releasing my menstrual blood back to Mother Earth. So I'm honoring it. It's honestly very synchronistic right now. I walked in the door at 416, which is a synchronistic number to me. My old debit card's CVV number was 416. And then if you actually add those numbers up, it's 11. So 11 is a ascended master number. So that's just one of the many synchronicities. As I sat down and started to do this, the song Holographic Medicine by Antene started playing, and this playlist was playing the entire time I was gone and came back. So it's just, a sign that you're in the flow with the universe. I'm also going to be having a celebratory Mother Ganja ritualistic bowl, releasing the pain within this feminine body that we all honestly hold. We all hold this within us. Think about it. Doesn't matter whether you're female bodied, meaning like whatever female genitalia is, right? In which we really got to remove that idea away. But however you identify on that spectrum, we all have an X chromosome. So we have to really take that into account and remember that we all have the maternal link. That X chromosome is what literally connects everything in this earthly existence together. That's massive. And that's actually something that I just learned right now. That just came to me. I didn't quite comprehend that until right then. So that is wow. Wow. So yeah, my partner is going to be here with me. She kind of helps me feel a little bit more comfortable when I'm talking about things like this. She's also going to be sharing this bowl with me, as we are both female-bodied individuals, whatever that is, right? I'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, the bodies who menstruate. They are another body that menstruates. That's the best way to put it. How about that? Because it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman, you can menstruate. Boom. Let's pick your brain on that one. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so Some of you may be asking, why do you choose to smoke marijuana? And I'm going to be very honest, it is not for everyone, right? However, for some people, and I prefer to reference it as Mother Ganja. Mother Ganja is a beautiful healing tool, but not only that, it allows you to open your mind, it allows you to ground yourself. But the beautiful thing, just as everything, right, you can also find yourself escaping from things with it. So intention is everything. That's that. Let's move now to my experience down by the creek. So first, I'm going to talk about just some extremely synchronistic things. When I was growing up, most of my trauma as a child happened in a house by a creek. So it's not coincidental to find myself now living in not only a space that reminds me of another portion of my childhood, but to find myself doing this in this atmosphere, because it is very reminiscent of my childhood. So it's like me connecting with that aspect of myself that may have been distorted. Now, when I dumped the blood in, because I actually dumped it into the creek instead of into the earth, because it felt right to allow it to become one with the flow, become one with the veins and the arteries of Mother Earth. That just felt right. And I watched it it kind of went and just washed down the creek. And then I just stood there for a minute. I was like, and like that, like she just released that pain from me. And I just sat there for a minute, and I was worried that people could see me, but then I just realized that I'm doing something different. Like, I don't know anybody in my family that has done this. And you may even see I put blood on my third eye, my own menstrual blood, so I can show myself that I'm not scared of that portion of myself anymore. I'm not afraid. Like, this being that sits before you is not man or woman. This being that sits before you is a soul that's having a human experience that transcends all of these human constructs, transcends these labels, transcends these names, transcends the face. Like, I see the ego for what it is, an aspect of myself that allows me to experience the world around me. But I'm seeing through just this one moment that by allowing myself to embody and embrace this portion of myself, I actually am empowering myself and moving myself forward in such a way that I may not even be aware of just yet, right? And it is my own manifestations coming true, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. Like, I've had visions of me doing things like this. I just never thought I would be able to transcend the fear to do it. And now I see, and I'm around. I have a community around me. This is specifically for like my Patreon members and maybe some other people that are near and dear to me. But this piece of work, this art that I'm putting together, is a way to show people to not be afraid of who they are, no matter where they stand on the spectrum. Because at the end of the day, like, I am on a soul level primarily masculine, but I'm in this body that menstruates, which gives me a completely different perspective. Like, there was a very long time where I thought I thought I was a man in a woman's body. Like, literally, like, that's the only way I can explain it. And then I began to realize that, like, I had like a more masculine mind, a more masculine energy, but there was still a feminine piece of me. And that, I think, for my soul to comprehend that, to kind of remove itself from that hard masculine energy, right? I had to be a woman in this physical incarnation. learn that soul lesson, to learn on a soul level that gender is a construct and that it is not this or that. It is actually a spectrum. And if you look at animals, it doesn't matter what animal in nature, like they all have their own unique spectrum within reproduction and within the way that they evolve in nature, and there's a purpose and a reason for everything. And so to this part of this, I guess, really am seeing come through right now is like is a way to show people like you can be transgender, right? Which I don't even know, like words really just they convolute things. But understanding that is really just an umbrella label that has so many other little things underneath it, and there's so many ways to identify within this umbrella. But what's being done is like the bastardization of that identity. Not that you need to wear the identity, but of that expression. And there's, if you do research, literally you can find research where there is a known third gender, which is androgynous, which is a literal combination of the two masculine and feminine energies. You can find it in Hermes Aphrodite, right? There's a few other that I can't think of off the top of my head, but those individuals who have this balance or have this draw of both energies together are like highly esteemed in ancient cultures, and that's been removed. Like in Native American tribes, it's two-spirited individuals, and most often these individuals become the shamans or become the leaders of the clan, if you will, or the tribe, because it's just the way that they perceive the world around them, you know, if they're in a centered, balanced, harmonious way. But yeah, all that to say, like I feel like a major release, and this is just the first day, so I'm excited to see what happens moving forward. So yeah, stay tuned. Grand risings, everyone. So this is technically day 3 of my menstruation cycle. Yesterday I wasn't able to get outside and do a ritual. However, yesterday I did a meditation. It's my Nest meditation on Saturday, and I had an extremely powerful download for the meditation beforehand. So that's something I have experienced during this. Is like I've been receiving more information. I've been receiving bigger insights in the sense of like seeing further through the veil, if that makes sense. More information is becoming aware to my presence. So this is the first time I've done a morning ritual. I'd say it's about 8:15 or so this morning. I will say that something I have been experiencing since, so the first thing I did, the first cup of blood that I collected, I use a moon cup if you're curious. The first cup of blood that I collected, I dumped in the water. It was in the evening. So the first thing I did was collect my blood and then dump that. So I dumped the first cycle of my blood out. And since then, every time that I didn't have the opportunity to go outside, my heart actually felt a little heavy. It was very interesting. But every time I release the blood out here, like this, like I said, the second time, I feel very light. Almost like there's like this buzzing or like butterflies in my heart. Like fluttering, like excitement, really. Like sometimes anxiety can really be our excitement. We don't know that feeling is actually excitement, not anxiety. Our minds just think it's the worst thing, which is anxiety usually, because you're scared of something. Maybe you're not scared of something. Maybe you're actually excited to do something in it, and because you're so excited, it kind of can mirror that fear anxiety, because it's a similar frequency, but the other end of the spectrum. So yeah, that's something I've experienced. Anything else that I want to say while I'm out here? Today's 4/4. I do intend, because it's my rest day. So if you don't, and this is like a space, I guess I'm being guided to say this, like if you don't already, like have at least one day during your week where you don't do work, where you rest and you relax and you give your time, yourself that time and that space. If you have children, I completely understand. It's like almost impossible to rest while they're awake, if they're smaller children, right? But I really do offer, like, even with them, take a day and teach them about rest and relaxation and the importance of doing nothing, and how that can really prolong your health. How do you think? Oh, my red squirrel's back. He's chucking at me. Not my red squirrel. It's just a red squirrel that lives in the woods. We just happen to meet each other. But I offer you to teach them about that, because I feel in our society, no matter where you live, if you live like close enough to the 3D, there is an absence of rest and relaxation that's truly duly needed. And knowing that there are frequencies being produced that are amplifying our fear and anxiety, even if we don't really have that, like we don't operate there, you can still feel it. So something else I will say, leading up to my period, or to my menstruation cycle, my moon cycle, if you will, is I was actually, the week leading up, I was having what would be perceived as more anxiety, and I recognized it was just me kind of dropping into that collective energy and connecting to them from my maternal link, if you will. So from like that, not that our fathers aren't heart-centered, but I for whatever reason, like in my mind, whenever I think of the mom or the maternal link, I think of the X chromosome, and then that makes me think of my heart. So X marks the spot. There's actually a Jock the Menace song that I may put in here for that, just so get an idea of what I mean. But yeah, I think that's all that I have for this little snippet. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here in this moment. This is just to wrap up my, I guess, my moon ritual that I have performed over during this moon cycle. And for what do I mean by moon cycle? I mean my menstruation cycle. So here recently, I've only been bleeding for about 3 to 3.5, maybe 4 days. The first day experiencing really bad cramps, usually like body aches, sometimes fevers, like hot and cold. This period was a little bit different, and I don't know if it is just because of the ritual, or if it is because my perspective changed. I don't know. So what I plan on doing is kind of moving forward. I'm just every month, I'm going to hold, I guess, like ritual space, for this, and just kind of talking about, my experience, and maybe even I'm having some other ideas. So yeah, just I have some ideas. So, just to kind of wrap up though, it's been a couple days since everything kind of ended, and I had to move forward with some other things before I had the chance to come back and reflect on the whole experience. Because interestingly enough, my last day of my period was on the 5th, really, like the 5th going into the 6th. Mosquitoes are out and I already get bit. It's okay. So something that I've been doing alongside this is listening to my intuition, kind of like going where I'm led. So if I have the opportunity to like be around people, I've kind of been opening myself up to being around more people. And in doing that, on Saturday, I actually, which is 4/3, I actually had the opportunity to hang out with two different groups of people. I had the opportunity to hang out with someone that I've met once that is friends with my wife growing up, and then like their husband, and then got to go hang out with some of my roommates' friends that I guess you could say they're our friends too. You have relationships that are kind of building, and you know, we were invited over for dinner there, and invited over for breakfast at another place, and you know, usually I wouldn't do that much in one day, just because it drains me a lot. But something that I've been working through and working on integrating is remembering that I have enough energy to do everything that I need to do, and that things don't actually drain me, because that's that patterning in our subconscious kind of leads to a draining perspective, if you will. So with that, we also Saturday were able to get a hookup for some mushrooms. And these mushrooms are called Jedi Mindfucks. And I've been really excited and really wanting to try this mushroom. And they came to us, and we had the ability to do them on Easter Sunday, 4/4. So it was a very, very potent day, a lot of activations. So alongside all of this opportunity arose for me to have a meeting with mushrooms in the way that I did, and they opened my mind up and just made me realize and see things in such a new way and such a new perspective. So you know, I know there's a line you have to skirt there. If it resonates with you, I always invite you to try it. So if the opportunity arises for you to do mushrooms in a safe environment, you know, I encourage that. It really does help shift the perspective. Taking it a step further, I can't express in words. I actually really want to do some art with it, with the emotions that have come up since this, and just the connection that I feel to everything, like Mother Earth and Mother Nature, and the collective consciousness, and just how I have the ability to perceive the world. I mean, I really only feel that art can capture that, and even then, like, it still feels limited because of the vastness and the infiniteness that is within, that I really, really, really just want to, right? It is not always easy to capture that. So finding joy and love and and just kind of being in every moment, it has really helped. So yeah. Along with the mushrooms on the day on 4/4, I pulled the tarot card, the Lamb. I pulled the Six of Pentacles. I pulled the Page of Cups, and I pulled the Four of Wands, I believe. Something along those lines. Sorry, I got something in my throat. That's awesome. But yeah, just very powerful, potent energy, and yes, it has nothing to do with this. But yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm gonna put everything together. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I will say that by at least giving my blood once to Mother Earth a day during my period, I noticed a deepening within my heart space and a deepening within the connection to Mother Earth and Mother Nature. I personally have a creek in the backyard, so I dumped it there, and you may not have that, so you can just dump it on the ground. Sorry, I can feel energy around me, and it's like, I don't know, the nature saying what's up. Sometimes it feels a little eerie, but it's not really an eerie feeling. It's just a very deep, like, love, like just this power almost. I don't know. I don't know how to explain. I really don't. It's like magnetic and explosive at the same time. Makes you want to get up and run, but take a nap. Yeah, it's really interesting. Saw a turkey right before I started shooting this too. I thought that was pretty cool. It's off in the distance. Doing this little turkey thing. Alright, that's all I have for this. I gotta get everything together so I can present it to you all. Thank you for joining me in this now moment. Infinite love, infinite light, and infinite movement, my friends. Namaste.